Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Back to our regularly scheduled Wednesday night broadcast here with the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing League. Take a look at that. What better sight do you get here in the iRacing world than gridding here? Great shot there from the flag stand, from right underneath the flag stand. Some fireworks off in the distance, and some of the best sim racers we've got in the Northeast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here to check us out. We got a lot of cool stuff going on this week, this month, and getting on into the 2025 calendar year. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. down here in the broadcast booth, and we're here at Southern National here for 100 laps on the docket, and this is going to be a whole lot of fun. Just wrapped up a quick little heat race to finalize the 24 drivers that are going to be starting here in the feature this evening. Aaron Thompson going to come home with another pole in that 19 car. Outside of him, Skylar Shippey, last week's winner, going to roll off outside of row number 1. Tony Quadros, JD Stockwell up in the second row. Nate Wenzel and Sean Boudreau in the top 6. Take a quick look at the next 6-pack. There you see Rodney Huntoon in the 012 going to roll off P7. Garrett Benson going to roll off outside of row number 4. Kenny Thompson and Dylan Zulo going to round out the top 10 with Justin Prescott and Kyle Buck starting 11th and 12th. Colton Martin, Anthony Bellafor going to roll off P13, P14. The boss man DJ Gerard going to roll off 15th. Colton Hull in the 16th position in that 59 car. Kyle Kenny, Dominic LaFleur are going to roll off 17th and 18th. And rounding out the field, we've got the final 6-pack here of the night. Colin Penn, Eric Larendu in the 46, Kyle Dumas, Joey Frazier, Chris Colburn, and Evan Burke. Going to round out the 24 drivers taking time here this evening. We can take a quick peek here at the top 10 in practice here this evening. Aaron Thompson on top of the 15.277. Aaron Burke, JD Stockwell, Skylar Shippey, and Kenny Thompson, the top 5 in final practice. And time's relatively close. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great race. Lots of time to get around this racetrack, and you can see the lights are off the iRacing pace truck. We are getting ready to go green flag racing once again, and I believe that might have been Shippey. Nope, that was Tony Quadros in the 12 car. I'm not sure if he missed the start or if he went to go to the back of the pack for the initial start of this race, but you saw him down on the inside. Aaron Thompson going to lead lap number 1. They get it all sorted out. JD Stockwell already up to second in that black and green machine. The 03 of Nate Wenzel there as well. Front 4 have pretty much single file. They're starting to pull away by just a little bit. Sean Baudreau in the number 1 car there as well. But the caution flag going to fly for the very first time. The 57 car of Kyle Kenny pointed in the wrong direction. So you see a little 3-wide action early on, and this one gets up, says hello to DJ Gerard, gets a little bit of a tap, and gets sent on around. Luckily, no major damage there, it looks like, for that number 57 car. Going to grab a gear, get going once again, and rejoin the tail end of the field. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here this evening. Live all over the place. Live over on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. All the major outlets, as it were. And once again, we appreciate everybody tuning in here this evening, spending your Wednesday night here with us. Be sure to give us a like, to subscribe, to share, the follow, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching a little bit of iRacing action here on a Wednesday night. And back from VidaneTV HQ, that's right, we're back from being on the road. We were out in Mississippi at the indoor Go-Kart World Finals there. That was a lot of fun. Be sure to check out the video on demand over on pitroadtv.com. There was some wild spills and thrills at the Batesville Civic Center out in Batesville, Mississippi. And, well, that's actually where we did this broadcast from. Very first time we've done, first handful of times we've done a remote broadcast here at VidaneTV. Definitely some room for improvement, but we were able to get out into the airwaves, into the interwebs, as it were, and all was right with the world. 5 laps down here, 95 to go. Should get the 1 to go this time by. Indeed, we do. Lights off in the iRacing pace drop. They are lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. And we're going to get that green flag to fly here once again with 93 laps to go. taking a quick peek here up towards the front. Don't see, I'm actually seeing Skylar Shippey in the 51 car parked on pit road. 6 laps down according to timing and scoring. Not entirely sure what's going on with Shippey. We'll see if we can see if we can figure that out. It's very seldom we see someone as quick as the 51 come in and start and park, but you never know what goes on. Very busy time of the year with the holidays upcoming here, and December, the end of the year, is going to be here before you know it. Aaron Thompson, great start there, great restart in that 19 car, able to pull away about 2 or 3 car lengths, maybe even 4 car lengths over the side-by-side battle of the 03 of Wenzel down on the bottom side. JD Stockwell up on the high side, and Stockwell going to get back into the tire tracks, it looks like, of the 03. There's a quick time, 15:4:55. Aaron Thompson, the current leader right now, and you're able to get that done when you're up in that fresh air. The clean air, definitely what the doctor ordered with these street stocks, and you can see just really able to kind of pick the momentum, put it on down to the racetrack, and hit your marks. Real rhythm racetrack here at Southern National Speedway. The 19 able to rack off some laps here, 10, 11 laps down, 89 laps to go, and you can see pretty much single file throughout the field, but a little bit further on back, pointed in the wrong direction. Caution flag going to fly once again. Take a look at the Hughes House Racing Design instant replay. 39 car was going to be the focus here on this one. A little bit of bumper car action, gets a tap there from the 59 car. Couple of quick lazy spins. The 59 is able to grab a gear, get going. The 39 able to do the very same thing. So no harm, no foul, it looks like. Going to lose a little bit of track position, though, and those drivers going to rejoin the tail of the field, and just confirming Skylar Shippey no longer in the race here. So I know we always have a lot of Shippey fans. I know Shippey's been working the past 3 weeks or so with a broken hand. That hand was actually in a sling. Didn't seem like it slowed him down any, though, because he's won a couple of races, been on the podium a handful of times, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe somebody over in the chat can let us know what is amiss, or what could potentially be going on in the 51 camp. But had over 30 drivers show up here tonight for 24 qualifying spots. 24 started the feature, currently 23 all on the lead lap. Colton Hull going to be the final car on the lead lap, and we got them all lined up 2 by 2, lights off in the iRacing pace truck, getting ready to rock and or roll once again here from Southern National. We'll take one more pace lap. Lights off this time by the drivers getting ready to rock and roll. They're already too wide all the way through the field. They want to get this thing underway once again, and lots of racing action throughout the next couple of weeks here, next couple of months really, here on VidaneTV. Tomorrow night, the RSAL TV's South Beach 75 from Homestead with the NEP Super Truck Series. Going to be a whole lot of fun to watch those guys do battle in those trucks. Tight points battle there, as well as here, and we got a lot of stuff going on next week as well. Green flag flying once again. Aaron Thompson down on the bottom side. Nate Wenzel up on the high side. JD Stockwell there in third. Still Garrett Benson, Sean Boudreau going to be the top 5 as they run. Little side-by-side, almost 3 wide there for the lead. They think a little bit better of it. The 03 car Wenzel going to tuck into the tire tracks of Thompson for the time being. JD Stockwell right down on the bottom of the racetrack, 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through. Wrecking towards the back. I believe that's DJ Gerard in the 13 car, pointed in the wrong direction. Caution flag. There it is. Caution flag does come out for the 13, and I believe that's the 52 of Colin Penn, and we do see Skylar Shippey is indeed back out on the racetrack, albeit 13 laps down. So we'll see if we can get caught up with Skylar and find out exactly what went down. But before we do that, we'll take a look at the instant replay from the blimp, the U.S. Racing Designs instant replay to be exact. There's the 13 car, DJ Gerard, getting into the corner. A little bit squirrely up in the front. There's a tap from the 9, the 37. There's another couple of taps, a little bit of bumper car action. Great heads-up driving by most of the field to get on through. Unfortunately, nowhere to go for the 52 car. Luckily, both drivers able to grab a gear and get ripping once again. And we will re-rack, re-stack, and get ready to rock and roll once again. There you see DJ Gerard down on the pit road, getting some service done to that machine, getting some tires potentially slapped on it. And DJ Gerard going to rejoin the field here once again. 20 laps into this one. Aaron Thompson up front, JD Stockwell, Nate Wenzel, Garrett Benson, and Sean Boudreau going to be the top 5 as they run. Dylan Zulo, Kyle Buck, Justin Prescott, Colton Martin, and Rodney Huntoon going to be the top 10 as they run. Still filing in behind the pace truck here for the next restart. Lights still on the iRacing pace truck. Lots of cool stuff coming on. We've mentioned time and time again, we've got some merchandise that we are indeed working on with Conway Customs and Wingnut Productions, and can't quite let the cat out of the bag or the proverbial box, as it were, just yet. But definitely keep an eye out on the social medias, because we've got some cool stuff on the go, as it were. And you can see the 19 car of Thompson. He's got some cool stuff on the go. He's been leading, I believe he's led all of the laps so far this evening, 22 to be exact, 23 once they cross the stripe. The 19 down on the bottom side, the 45 of JD Stockwell up on the high side. Caution is over. The green flag flies. Little contact there for second place. Wenzel down in the 03 car trying to make a little magic happen, trying to get down underneath JD Stockwell and take that position away. They're side by side in behind them as well. There you see the 1 car of Sean Boudreau holding on to it. The 77 of Garrett Benson up on the high side, almost scraping that wall just a little bit. Zulo in the 16 car is there as well. How about Kyle Buck in that number 5 car? Colton Martin there in the 4 as well. You can throw a blanket over the top 10. These guys are very, very close together, and these street stocks put on a heck of a show here at Southern National. Really all of the short tracks on the iRacing service here. You can see just bright cherry red brake rotors on the front of that 4 car. Really all of the cars, as it looks like. These guys getting on down into the corners and getting these cars loaded up. There you see all the way down to, we'll call it 65, 70 miles an hour, ranking it back up 90, 95, 93. Not too terrible, but definitely going to be beating and banging and abusing the equipment in a big way, as everybody's still chasing down Aaron Thompson, able to pull away by just a little bit. The first battle is for second, the 03 SimCube car down on the bottom side of Nate Wenzel. JD Stockwell up top, the 1 car there as well. He's broken away from that 77 of Garrett Benson. Benson up on, trying to move up the high side just a little bit. Almost trying to get a late apex and get a little bit different line to see if he can make up a little bit of ground on our leaders, maybe pull away from this side-by-side battle in behind him. Dylan Zulo on the high side in the 16 car. Trying to hold off, well, not trying to hold off, trying to get around the 5 car and do it the hard way. A little bit of a bump there, loose for Prescott in the 04. Check that, that's Colton Martin in the 4 car down on the bottom side. The 04 is Justin Prescott up on the high side. They're doing side-by-side battle. You could almost zip tie the door handles together on those 2 cars. There you see Anthony Bellafor in the 90 car holding on to that top 10. Doesn't have too much of a challenge in behind. There's the 3 car of Dominic Lafleur holding on to just outside the top 10 as we all chase down the leader, Aaron Thompson. These guys still side by side for second. Exactly what Thompson wants to see in the lead is when he looks in the mirror and he sees he's got himself about a 10th and a half or a full second over the second place here. Second place battle, as it were. Big slide from JD Stockwell. The 1 has to get out of it, check up, and as does the rest of the field. But unfortunately, as we get down in it, not able to get checked up enough. And that's one of those deals that's kind of a chain reaction. The 5 and the 1 able to grab a gear and get going once again. We'll take a look at it from the blimp. Side-by-side racing action up in front. And now take a look at this, folks. When you're on a short track, and something happens real quick in front of you, you're sometimes able to react. There's the initial contact up front. Little bump again, and I think it's this corner here. We see JD Stockwell in that green and black machine get super, super loose. There you see checks up, the 16 checks up, the 5 checks up, and unfortunately at that point, there's nowhere for anybody else to go. So the 5 car gets on around, as does the 1 car. You see some virtual sheet metal flying off that number 5, but all in all, could have been a whole lot worse. They see a little simultaneous grab a gear and get going once again. So caution flag flies here on lap 35. Opportunity for a couple of drivers come down pit road. There you see the 5 down on pit road of Kyle Buck. Colin Penn in the 52 is down there, as well as the 46. I believe the 1 car came down onto pit road as well. So a little bit of damage, a little bit of virtual sheet metal damage on these cars. These guys going to get the opportunity to get them all replaced and get some of the damage fixed on up. I believe we'll get 1 to go this time by. We might get 2 to go. We'll see what the lights do. The lights are, in fact, off on the iRacing pace truck. We are lined up 2 by 2 throughout the field. Aaron Thompson, Nate Wenzel are going to be the front row. JD Stockwell going to restart inside row number 2. Garrett Benson in the 77 car going to restart P4. Dylan Zulo going to round out the top 5. That pace truck going to take that hard left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road, and we're going to go green flag racing once again here at Southern National. Good restart by Thompson. Good restart by the folks in behind him as well. JD Stockwell down the bottom side, 2 wide, trying to get that second position, trying to get a 2-for-1 special. See if he can get around Thompson there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Thompson doing everything he can to try and hold on to it. You can see a little calamity ensuing on in behind. Oh, big hit there for the 57 car. Going to bring out the caution flag, I'm sure. Indeed, it does come out with 61 laps to go. That is a tough situation to be in. We'll back up the tapes and take a peek at it from the blimp. We're going to go all the way back to the restart here. It looks like everything looking A-okay, but you can see just how these drivers, something almost happens up towards the front of the pack, and it's like playing a game of telephone, going all the way through the field, and it's the butterfly effect. Realistically, you flap your wings in Japan, and someone over here will be able to feel it. There you can see the 39 car getting out of shape in the back. There's the 90 car pointed in the wrong direction. It's going to be Anthony Bellafor that originally had the 90 car kind of pointed up into the wrong direction. So we'll back that up once again, and we'll take another peek at it here. And there you see, getting a little bit of help, it looks like. Getting dark here at the racetrack. A little 3 wide actions would cause that. There you see the bright red cherry rotor, some sheet metal and some sparks flying. A couple of drivers getting involved in that one. So some damaged race cars here at Southern National, and not quite a war of attrition, but definitely making it known that you've got to keep the race car clean to get to the end of the race here. 57 laps to go once we cross the stripe. Aaron Thompson, still your leader. Lights out in the pace truck, getting ready to go green flag racing once again here from the virtual Southern National Speedway. There you see it, green flag flying. We are close to the halfway marker in this one. 4 laps away to be exact. One of the best restarts we've seen out of JD Stockwell so far. He is neck and neck with Thompson down on the bottom side. Stockwell up top. They're almost 3 wide in that row behind, but JD Stockwell making a little magic happen, and you can see that high side starting to come in just a little bit here at Southern National, and that's one of the things we like to see here in the virtual racing world, the real racing world, really any kind of racing. Multiple different groups around the racetrack. There you see they're going to think a little bit better of it. Stockwell going to tuck into the tire tracks of the 19 car of Aaron Thompson and think a little bit better of it, give himself a little bit of opportunity to try and do some homework, see if he can get around in another quick way. There's the 16 Azulo taking a shot, seeing if he can get the door to open up down the bottom side of 03. Nate Wenzel, he's going to tuck into the tire tracks for the time being. Colton Martin in that 4 car there as well. There you can see the 3 and the 04 side by side. LaFern Prescott doing everything they can to try and break into the top 5. Coming out of 3 and 4 to cross the stripe here. Take the Cross flags halfway, 50 down, 50 to go, and the 19 car leading all of the laps so far in this one. You can see he's starting to pull away by just a little bit. Further on back, about mid-pack. This is the battle of the folks trying to get into the top 10, and these guys are doing a heck of a job. Whoa, big slide there from the bright green and white car. Got it pointed back in the right direction. That's going to be the number 12 of Rodney Huntoon. Great heads-up driving by him. Joey Frazier in the mix. The 77 of Benson is here as well. You can see Colton Hall in the mix. Sean Boudreau, Eric Burt, Anthony Bellafour from earlier on, recovering back up to the top 15. So doing a great job trying to break in to the top 10. The 37 car right now leading this pack, holds on to that 10th position. The 12 going to take a peek on the high side, try and make a little bit of that magic happen, but nothing able to happen just quite with the leaders. Got to get around that gaggle before he can get up into the lead, and caution flag going to fly once again here from Southern National. Tony Quadro's pointed in the wrong direction there in the number 12. We'll see if we can back up to U-House Racing Designs instant replay. There you can see he was side by side with DJ Gerard there in the 13. That 13, by the way, only the lone Ford street stock in the field. There's a little rub in there. No harm, no foul, it looks like. Quadro's up on the high side. Everything looks good there. Bounces off the nose there of the 13. A couple of cars going for the same piece of real estate is what I'm going to call that one. And you can see pointed in the wrong direction, able to grab a gear, get going once again, and just able to beat the leaders there. So able to stay on the lead lap. Definitely good news for the 12 camp, the 13 there as well. But gonna lose a lot of that track position. You can see they're all out in front of the leaders, but behind the pace truck. So not going to be able to come down pit road and get anything on serviced on that car if they're going to want to take the free pass and get back to the tail end of the longest line. So that's going to be something that may very well hinder their performance. A couple of drivers down on pit road there. You see the 13 car of DJ Gerard was down there getting some service done on that virtual 13 ride. Everybody else going to tuck in behind the pace truck here. Going to get the restart with about 40, maybe 41 laps to go from the virtual Southern National Speedway. Green flag flying once again here with 40 laps to go. Aaron Thompson up in the front. JD Stockwell on the outside. That's been the story all night long. And got to give a shout out to Benny's Racing Model Replicas jumping on board for the sponsorship here this evening of tonight's race at the Southern National Virtual Raceway. Be sure to shoot on over to Facebook, get them a like and a subscribe and a share and all that good stuff. As that's one of the cool things about the real racing world and the sim racing world, is being able to have different models put together, and there are a few niche groups that are able to do that. Benny's definitely one of those groups as well, and got to give them a shout out for hooking us up and hooking these guys up here tonight with a little race sponsorship to get out onto the airwaves and make the drivers just a little bit richer as they going to be driving or racing rather for a little bit of a coin reward towards the end of the season. And these guys doing everything they can to try and hold on to it, but the caution flag going to fly. There's the 59 car of Colton Hall pointed in the wrong direction, and that's going to bring out the caution flag here with 37 laps to go. There's the 08 car as well pointed in the wrong direction. So let's take a peek at that U-House Racing Designs. We're going to back that up just a skosh because that was a 40-second clip, and they were still wrecking. They were 3 wide up on the top left of your screen there. Almost 4 wide, but they got thought a little bit better of it. There you can see the 52 gets down and around Everything A-OK there. The 59 going to come in to the back of the 08. Everything looked good there. It gets up into the outside. Everything looks good. So two separate incidences, it appears. Everything A-OK here at this one. There you see Hull just up into the 08 car, almost drove into the back bumper. Oh, no, man, big hit for the 08 car. Barrel rolling down the back straightaway. You know the rules, folks. When we get someone flipping like that, we have to take a look at the onboard. That's going to be Evan Burke that's flipped on through. So we'll back up the tapes one more time here. That was a big handful of hits for sure. Let's look on the onboard here. And there you can see getting into the corner. Everything looks hunky-dory out in the front, but unfortunately just gets down and around and up into the wall. Everything looks good. Not so much anymore. Ground, sky, sparks. Ground, sky, sparks. Ground, sky, sparks. Ground, sparks. Other car. Whew. One thing you'll notice, you heard him getting on through the gears. Nope. He fired right up. The 08 car's still running, but he's going to park it down on pit road and see what they can do to get that thing sorted on out. Let's ride on board here with Aaron Thompson. Check that. That's JD Stockwell on the outside. The lights are off. You can hear him playing with that throttle. Let's do the restart here from outside row number 1. And we'll watch. You can see he's going to restart, looks like in third gear here. Potentially. That may change once they get into 3 and 4. You can see the lights are off on the iRacing pace truck up in front. So he's going to take that left-hand turn. There he goes. And there's bubbles up in the flag stand saying green, green, green. Restarts it in third, gets up to 4th, and hammer on down. He's going to try and make a little magic happen to try and drive around the outside of that 19 car, but nothing there. Listen to him burp the throttle. We're going to big slides here. Just listen to some of the sights and sound as we ride on board JD Stockwell for a lap. Hundreds of different micro decisions that you have to think about and make when you're racing, whether it's sim racing or real racing. As you can see, little calamity back in mid-pack on back. The 90 car getting a shot and getting pointed around. He saves it. We stay green. Great heads-up driving by Bellafor. They're still beating and banging 3 wide. They got it all sorted out. It appears those guys going to lose a little bit of track position. The 90 car trying to gather it back up. There you see a little side-by-side action. The battle for 5th is ensuing. The 03 car sliding back in a big way. Wenzel currently scored in the 7th position. He's down underneath that 3 car of Dominic Lafleur. First side-by-side battle on track. They're all chasing down Thompson in the front. He's got 2.5 tenths over JD Stockwell. Then it's another 2.5 tenths back to the 4 car of Colton Martin, Dylan Zulo, Justin Prescott, the top 5 currently as they run. The 3 car is a great shot of the 03 trying to take a peek down low. Let's take a look at those bright white driving gloves. The 04 car down on the bottom side, on the high side rather. The 03 of Wenzel down on the bottom side, wiggling that wheel back and forth, trying to get all the grip that he possibly can as they come out of 3 and 4 to 25 laps to go, clear high, able to capitalize on that and move the 03 car back into the top 5. Not sure when he slipped back, as it's been an action-packed race here throughout the evening, but as you can see, the front 10 right now, single file throughout the field, but for how long? These guys have been putting on a heck of a show here for us, and we know that once we get down to closer and closer to the end of the lap, a lot more the give and take changes. A lot more take, a little bit less give. Slicing and dicing Zulo and Wenzel, the 16 and the 03 going back and forth, putting on a show here for that 4th position. Everybody's still trying to chase down those front 3. Thompson, Stockwell, Martin pulling away by just a little bit. There you see Zulo trying some things. He went high that time left the door open on the bottom for Wenzel. Wenzel took a peek down low, but not able to keep the car down there, it looks like. The grip's starting to come in just a little bit on the high side Wenzel did slow down. He's even that time by getting into the corners, but you can see he's just able to drive off in a hard way. So it's the 16 car. You can see the 4 car currently holding on to third, but not quite as quick as he was earlier. A little side action up front. Aaron Thompson gets around the number 5 car. That's going to be Kyle Buck, the 3 laps down now at this point. You can see he's seen better days with that number 5 car. Lots of damage on that thing. He's just trying to capitalize on a decent finish, decent points night for the 5. And you see the front 2 were able to get away just fine, but they're side by side now for third. The 03 is going to use the car as a pick. He's going to get down underneath that 4 car and try and take that third position away and move that 03 car back onto the podium. Oh, big slide up for 5. The Buck goes up, kisses the outside wall. Oh, check that. That was Zulo, I believe. And the 16 car got a piece of that wall, but everybody's still chasing Thompson up front. JD Stockwell is there. He's got about a half a second or so that he's got to make up. And you can see they are still side by side for this third spot. The 03 down in the bottom of the 4 car, up on the high side with 15 laps to go. We'll take a peek. We're live all over the internet, folks. As we made mention, we're on the Facebook, we're on the YouTube, we're on the Twitch and TikTok and Twitter and all over the place. So let us know who you're watching, where you're watching from. And the question is, Mr. Pike, Jeffrey Pike asks us, can the Massachusetts Missile get to the leader? Now, I'm not familiar with the nickname, but I'm going to assume that the Massachusetts Missile must be the guy in second. But I might be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff. JD Stockwell holding on to that second spot right now. He's sliding backwards. 3/4 of a second is the gap from first on back to second. You can see just off into the distance. We got about a half a lap before we pull up on some lap traffic, and that definitely could hinder the clean racetrack here for Aaron Thompson, but he's pulling away by quite a bit. 0.8 of a second is now the gap. How about the gaggle for third? 03, 4, and 16 are doing battle. Little triple threat action here with 12 laps to go. The 4 and the 03 have been side by side for about 15 laps. And the 16 Azulo says, I want to play too. He might have been saving his stuff by just a little bit. And you can see he is all over the back bumper of the 03 and the 4 car, trying to make a little magic happen. He wants to talk to us post-race here as we cross the stripe for 10 laps. Confirmation with Jeffrey Pike. JD's nickname is indeed the Massachusetts Missile. That 45 car holding on to second currently. About a second gap from him to the leader, and then it's another 1.5 gap back to this battle for third. We're going to keep our eyes on this battle for third. These guys are putting on a heck of a show here for us, entertaining the masses as it were. A little triple threat action for P3, and you can see 8 wheels turn better than 4, and I think the 16 is, what's 8 plus 3 plus 4, 12? Do 12 wheels turn better than 8? Where I think we might find out with Zulo in that 16 car. You can see, oh, contact between the 03 and the 4. They get it sorted out. They hold on to it. You saw Zulo in the 16 check up just a little bit, but he's right back there on the back bumper of the 4 car. Going to drift up just a little bit, and as these guys are playing a little cat and mouse, beating and banging on each other, that's going to open the door up for the 04 car. Justin Prescott wants to get up here and make it a fatal 4-way for third place, but does he have enough time to get there? Aaron Thompson holding on to the lead. Clean racetrack up in front of him other than that 42 car. You can see he's got a little bit of lap traffic as he's going to get the high five from Bubbles up in the flag stand. 5 laps to go. They're the virtual Southern National. 19 going to go underneath the 46 car. That 46 is Aaron Lerner, already 1 lap down. That's going to put him 2 laps down. And we're going to have 12 cars on the lead lap after this one. 4, count them, 4 laps to go. There's the Massachusetts Missile, JD Stockwell in the 45. He has about a 1.5 in front of and a 2.5 behind. So he is Sunday cruising here. Nate Wenzel able to finally get around that 4 car. He's trying to pull away. Oh, the 4 car gets a shot from the 16. The 16 has to check up. The 04 car gets down to the bottom side. The 08 off the pace down to the bottom side. Side by side for, I believe, 5th, the 04 car of Prescott. Oh, the 16 Azulo up into the outside wall. That's going to get things sorted out there. They're all going to go single file. We'll check back in with our leader, Aaron Thompson. Popsicle sticks, 2 laps to go on the back straightaway already. Going to go into 3 and 4. Doesn't have too much lap traffic. to worry about up front. White flag, white rag for the number 19 car of Aaron Thompson. Won the first race of the season. I think he won the second race of the season. Has a handful of wins. Great runs here for the 19 car. You can see bright cherry red rotors. He's going to take the checkered flag. Aaron Thompson, your winner here at Southern National. How about a little side-by-side action? J.D. Stockwell going to come home second. Nate Wenzel third. Colton Martin going to finish in fourth. Dylan Zulo going to round out the top five as they run. Little fist bumping with race cars. That's okay. It's after the checkered flag. And you can see Aaron Thompson going to get a congratulatory bump there from the Massachusetts Missile, the number 45 of J.D. Stockwell. There's the 03 car of Nate Wenzel as well. So heck of a race here tonight. These guys putting on a show, and we're going to get dueling burnouts. Look at that. That's almost in sync. How about that? Entertaining the masses, folks. That's how we do it here at VidaneTV. We'll take a look at the running order here, and we'll catch up with our top three drivers momentarily. There you can see little bumper-to-bumper, nose-to-nose burnouts. That's always fun to see. Let's jump on board. Can we do that? Yeah. Little onboard burnout action, nose-to-nose. It's always fun. It's always fun to see what these drivers come up with as far as their victory lane celebrations. And man, we're going to talk to the Massachusetts Missile. Easy enough. I said it like half a dozen times during the race, and I screwed it up post-race. But J.D. Stockwell, that 45 machine, bad quick here tonight. What else did you need to get around Aaron?
I mean, I needed to not be on the outside for 20 laps, but I can't really blame anyone for that. That's just racing. My tires were kind of cooked, but no, Aaron was quick. He was out front all race. He definitely had the better car there at the end.
Yeah, put on a heck of a show here, and just kind of watching back the post-race shenaniganry there, little dueling burnouts and some nose-to-nose burnouts. You guys teammates, friends? What's that about?
Yeah, all of the above right there. Teammates, friends.
That's what it's all about. What better way to you always want to come home with the win, but when you can finish second to your buddy and your teammates, counts as a win as well. Plus, we got some cool footage here on VidaneTV. JD, got to give you an opportunity here. Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack? Second place here at Southern National.
Yeah, my mom, my dad, Doug from Doug's Auto Body, Aaron, Skylar, Kenny, Heat Race Heroes. Probably forgetting a lot of people, but we'll stick with that for now.
Putting on a heck of a show. Solid run here tonight for the Massachusetts Missile. J.D. Stockwell comes home second. And we're actually going to go over to Victory Lane. But we're going to talk to the third place guy because Nate Wenzel is parked in Victory Lane, and the winner is not. So we'll see if we can figure out what's going on there. Nate, great run tonight, all the way up and down through the top 10, top 5. It seemed like quick 03 car, and we saw you side by side with that 4 car. What's going through your mind? Great racing here tonight.
Yeah, no, that was fun. That caution came out. I knew I was gonna be on the outside for the restart, so I figured we'd stop and get some tires and see what we could do, and that was a lot of fun. But thank you to Valley Recycling, Jeans Ford and Chevrolet, Virgilio Property Management, 1812 Auto Body and Paint, Wenzel's Photography, Hideaway by the Bay, The Fireplace, Delaware Chassis Works, and USA Recycling.
Doing the homework for the post-race, too. I like it. The 03 car finishing P3 on the podium. Nate, great run here tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll slide just a little bit further on in front of him, just outside Victory Lane. Aaron Thompson coming home with another dub. Aaron, domination, man. Great run here tonight. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I've had some tough luck past couple weeks. Got wrecked at Hickory, and I got in a few different things at Myrtle Beach last week, and felt like I had to come out and make a statement tonight, and I feel like I did that pretty well.
Yeah, statement definitely made. Able to drive away from the field. Had a second-and-a-half lead at one point over that 45 car. Just a handful of races left in this one. What's the game plan? We just going out and winning all the races, or are we points battling? What's kind of going through the thought process?
I'm at a point in the points now where I'm gonna have to win all the races if I want to win the championship. So yeah, it's basically my strategy now.
Easy enough for some folks. Not quite as easy enough for me because I don't think I've won more than one race in my entirety of the sim racing career. But in any sense, making it look easy here tonight at the virtual Southern National. Who's out there watching, Aaron? Who gets you to and from the virtual track?
Yeah, Heat Race Heroes, all those guys, Skylar, JD. Keegan, my brother, all the people out there watching, my sister Leanne, my sister Kim, Nick, my mom, Jim and Heather Carley. Is anybody out there that supports me in this?
Putting on a heck of a show, dominating here tonight at Southern National, leading maybe not all the laps, but definitely most of them. And you can see there the final results, 2-second lead over JD Stockwell. So a great run here tonight. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
And we'll take just a quick look at the final running order. There you see Aaron Thompson, JD Stockwell, Nate Wenzel, the podium. We talked to those guys here post-race show. Colton Martin, Dylan Zulo rounding out the top 5 after those guys put on a heck of a triple threat battle for the top couple of spots. Justin Prescott, Dominic Lafleur, Rodney Huntoon, Garrett Benson, and Kyle Dumas going to round out the top 10. And throughout the rest of the field, there you see the one car of Sean Boudreau finishing 11th. Joey Frazier, Colin Penn, going to be the first car 1 lap down. Eric Larendu in the 46 finishes 14. Colton Hull finishes P15. Kyle Kenny, Kyle Buck, Chris Colburn, Anthony Bellafor, Tony Quadros rounding out the top 20. And shotgun on the field, little final 4 here. Evan Burke, DJ Gerard, Skylar Shippey, and Kenny Thompson having some issues earlier on in this one. Still not able to find out what exactly went on to with Skylar here. So we're going to see if we can shoot off some DMs and find out what that was. And we'll come on the air next week with whatever that story may or may not be. One more race here on the week tonight, or for this week rather, tomorrow night, the NEP Super Truck Series back at it once again for the South Beach 75 presented by RSAL TV. That's going to be an absolute blast. And then we're back at it next Monday night, the Fast One National Series. Tuesday night, the RBR Season 8, Season Ocho, as it were, with the Maritime Group up there. And then next Wednesday, right back here for the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. And oh, by the way, Tim's Corner Motorsports has some special events coming up in the next couple of weeks. Be sure to shoot on over to timscorner.ca and ask old Timmy what's on the go here for some more maritime racing. It's been a little bit since we've worked with the TCM group, so looking forward to that as well. That's going to do it here for us at VidaneTV. For Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., and everybody here with the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing League. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we are going to be doing it live.